we don't feel so bad about ourselves, so we're more willing to give and receive compliments to each other. And that really has actually changed a lot of the relationship.
Do I compliment you more?
Yeah, and I feel a lot closer to you than I used to.
I do too. I feel a lot better about myself. I am more comfortable in my own skin, and the only way that I can describe it to you with any degree of accuracy is that I felt like me trapped inside of a fat person's body. So like when I sat down, I literally felt like I was trapped, and I don't feel that anymore. I feel like I'm just me. I'm free.
Okay, so how about sleeping? How's sleeping going? Has that changed at all for you?
The only difference that I've noticed in my sleeping experience is that there's more space in the bed. Have you noticed?
There is more space in the bed.
Have you noticed any differences in your sleeping patterns?
I'm glad you asked, because yes, I have. Actually, I used to use a CPAP machine, and I used to have severe sleep apnea, and so I was waking up like once every, 90 seconds?
I think so.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was crazy. I was like getting no sleep, so I was tired all the time. And I didn't even want to sleep. Like I'd try to stay up as many hours as I possibly could because sleeping was not relaxing. And so what I've learned now is I get to bed and I just fall asleep and I just have great dreams and like I get the rest that I need, which is wonderful because it's something that I've never really experienced most of my life. I don't think I snore as much, if at all.
Did you know you talk in your sleep a little bit?
Do I? I didn't know that. What do I say?
The other night you told me that you had 2 necklaces. And so when I hear you talking in your sleep, I ask you questions.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you ask?
I try and figure out what it is that you're talking about. So when you were like, I have 2 necklaces, I was like, oh, really? Where did you get them from? What do they look like? And you started answering me, but it was still gibberish because you were mumbling in your sleep.
It was nonsensical.
And you answered, I don't remember what you answered. You answered part of the question. And then all of a sudden your breathing changed and you were like, oh, I'm dreaming, aren't I? Do you remember that part?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, I could tell that all of a sudden, like, you were conscious and you were aware that I was trying to get information from you.
Oh my God.
So anytime, and when the girls talk in their sleep, I ask them questions too.
Very interesting. Yeah. Okay.
But you might be getting into like a deeper sleep than before if you're able to talk in your sleep.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not a sleep expert.
The last thing that we want to talk about is the difference in our intimate relationship.
The first thing I'd like to talk about is the difference in our intimate relationship.
What I'm really excited about is that I can actually put my arms all the way around you when we hug. Our bellies aren't in the way. It used to be like, hey, how are you doing? And you had to like arch your back a little bit. Or I did. Well, because of my belly.
Good save. Nice save. One other big change that you can anticipate in a surgery like this, whether you yourself are doing it or you as a couple make the changes that we've made, is that your physical relationship does change. In our case, and I think in most cases that I've heard, it changes for the better.
Mm-hmm.
We feel closer to each other emotionally because we're not blocking each other out with food. We're not hurting ourselves and feeling so sick that we can't give each other the time that we want to give each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're also not as cranky, so we don't have as much like ups and downs as we did before, where one person gets snappy and then the other person gets overly sensitive, and then you're just mad at each other, and it's a disaster. You know, that's the life that we lived for a long time. I feel more comfortable approaching you and being more physical and affectionate. You know, I'm happier about it. I do that more frequently and regularly than I used to before. I initiate a lot more than I used to. Overall, I would say that things have improved, and there are some other physical changes that maybe I'll talk about at another time on another channel. But
all right, well, we'll wrap it up. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end of, I don't even know how many videos we're gonna make, please leave a comment below. If you like this style of video, also tell us that you liked it, and what else would you want us to talk about? With that said, we'll see you later. Have a good one.